Towers. Where did all these languages come from? We were busy building towers, that we may make a name for ourselves. We live in a world of many towers since the days of Babel. Many great civilizations rose and continued the tower building project. They came and they faded, and their towers faded away with them. We spend our lives doing the same thing still, building towers, building a name for ourselves. I propose to you, if the men of Babel built a tower as a memorial to remember the name of the Lord Most High, perhaps that tower would still have remained until today, if man continued to walk humbly before his God. Perhaps. This day and age, we can add acronyms to our names. Nothing wrong with acronyms, but if only to make a name for ourselves, that tower too will fall. Every society has some sort of class system. How we differentiate ourselves from others. How we elevate ourselves above others on the basis of wealth, and in still many places on the basis of skin tone. Oh, how we love building towers to make a name for ourselves. I dare to assume most of us who went on to university pursued degrees not on the basis of what would make us happy or fulfilled, but on the basis of the potential of wealth acquisition. For generally speaking, your job or career determines your earning potential, and your earnings, the neighborhood you could possibly live in, the type of house you could possibly purchase, the type or brand of car you could possibly drive, or how green your lawn could possibly be. Towers. Towers in Babel. Building a name for ourselves. We drive around with bumper stickers that point to our current or past affiliations, our accomplishments, our accolades, or our kids' accomplishments. How self-centered we are. Fragile. Just like towers in Babel. Making a name for ourselves. Mass marketing only feeds that vice in the human heart. Such is the system of the world. Yet Scripture says to love not the world or the things of the world, for whoever loves the world, the love of the Father is not in him. I'm reminded of a mother who came to Jesus and asked him of a favor, that both of her sons would sit at his side, one at the left and one at the right. You may know the story. Jesus goes on to say, the Gentiles have authority and they lord it upon one another. But with you, it shall not be different. Whoever desires to be greatest among you must first be his servant. It goes against the culture of building towers and names for ourselves. I'm certain there are believers out there that would flip out if you sit in a certain room in their house, or park on their grass, or make yourself a sandwich in their house without asking. When you put things above people, what is your religion worth? The early church had all things in common. All things. When one prospered, they all prospered. When one suffered, they all suffered. In the church today, unfortunately, when someone goes through troubles, sufferings, they tend to self-isolate. They think it's only about them. Perhaps their tower was shaken. We are too self-centered, not even in suffering, but also in wealth. I think of in Luke chapter 12. In the 13th verse, someone in the crowd said to him being Jesus, "Teacher, tell my brother to divide the inheritance with me." One could say, based on culture, and perhaps even based on civic law, this someone had a right to his inheritance. Remember the parable of the prodigal and the prodigal son? He told his father to give him his inheritance. This is cultural norms for thousands of years, even until today. In all cultures, to some extent, inheritance are given. How much so back in this day? This is a legitimate request to Jesus. But there appears to be an illegitimate motive. Because in verse 14, Jesus replied, "Man, who appointed me judge or executor between you?" Surely, this one, Jesus, who raised the dead, opened the eyes of the blind, made the lame walk, healed lepers, surely he can get my brother to divide with me what is rightfully mine. But Jesus replies and goes on to say in verse 15, "Watch out, guard yourselves against every form of greed. For one's life does not consist in the abundance of possessions." For the sake of peace, for the sake of love, denying oneself, let my brother have it all. I'm storing up riches in heaven. Now that's a hard thing to do in 2021, to forsake your tower in order to build his. For unless the Lord builds the house, he who labors in vain who builds it. Lord, forgive us for the towers we've built in our name.